Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 7 U.S. aircraft carrier, Ranger. It has 4 squadrons with 6 aircraft each, 1 torpedo, 3 bomber squadrons, 75 AA guns, a top speed of 29.5 knots, total health 44,900. For my modules, increase AA survivability, increase AA range, reduce the chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift. For my commander, situation awareness, basic survivability, basic firing training, faster torpedo rearm, faster torpedoes, and aircraft expertise. We are on the map Trap, and it's an aircraft carrier game. Yes, I know. Why are you doing an aircraft carrier? It's been months since you've last done them. Well, I honestly stopped playing them because I was so crappy at them. And I was crappy because I could not successfully carry out a manual dive bomber drop. And I've tried to improve. We've gotten better and better and better games, and we're going to see how well this works out. So we sent a squadron to each point, and we found an enemy destroyer that chose to, for whatever reason, come to a complete stop right next to the island, and we land our manual drop. Now I have called in a little audible. We're going to pull the squadron from the center of the map. Also, my torpedo bombers are en route. We're going to try and take out this enemy destroyer, the Kiev. And he's getting the picture. He's trying to move away. Don't blame him. Our torpedoes are on approach, and he hugs the island. That's not going to work out. We need to make sure there's enough room so it'll activate. That might be a little bit too far back, but we've already committed. Now, we're going to try a manual drop on top of its position. Held onto it just a little bit too much. And I'm really desperate. I'm trying to, at the very least, keep the target spotted for my team. And look at what he's doing! He's turning back into the torpedoes! He probably lost his steering. Yes! We get first blood, devastating strike. And, you know, that was all planned. All planned. And I paid way too much attention to taking out that target. My dive bombers never went for an attack, but we're going to try on the Tashkent. We're able to get a good manual drop. We just didn't have enough in order to hit the target. So we've only got 1 squadron left. Now there was another destroyer, this Mutski, who was around A, and he tried to move off, but we're not letting him get away. I think it's good. Just barely missed. But that manual drop, it makes a world of difference. It is pretty much required that you are able to land manual drops. And notice what I'm doing. Instead of bringing back my aircraft, denying the intel to my team, I have chosen to keep it over the enemy destroyer. That way, they can continue to harass it, maybe kill it. Once I have a rearmed squadron, I'm going to send it right back to that destroyer. But for now, we're just going to keep it spotted, and he's already taken a lot of damage. The game doesn't reward this, by the way. There is absolutely nothing that I am gaining from doing this other than the knowledge that you are positively impacting your team's success. I don't know why there's not a ribbon or something that is for scouting. It's so important. It's critical. And there's so many aircraft carriers that don't know how to do it. Now, we have basically kept this target spotted the entire time. He's trying to kill my squadron. He can't. He's called in backup. That's fine. We're going to take this squadron and we're going to waste as much time as we can possibly waste for the fighters. The dive bomber that has just been rearmed is almost on target, and all I want to do is drag this out. I don't need to have that dive bomber very close, and he's getting distracted. Now we find the enemy destroyer very low. We could dive bomb, and we're going to do manual. Obviously, this manual drop isn't along the length of the ship. It's purely more of a perpendicular drop against the destroyer. It's just more important that you have the opportunity. You're never going to get it just right on a destroyer. Don't focus too much on getting it lengthwise. Focus on getting that manual drop. That's much better than an automatic drop. Now, of course, the dive bomber that we sent out to waste the fighter squadron's time already defeated. Those 2 fighters have moved in to kill my remaining dive bombers that tried to kill off the enemy destroyer. Was unsuccessful, of course. We sent our torpedoes up to sea to take out this Mayhan, and he has an island in the way. I'm going to give enough room so he can't deactivate the torpedoes by turning into them, but I think we dropped the torpedoes a little bit too far. And we hit him with 1 torpedo, but if we were a little bit closer, we would have hit him with 2. I was sort of on that edge where he could have turned in and closed the distance before activation. That's a complete waste, and it's just not worth my time. Now, the enemy aircraft carrier is trying to attack us. We have great AA. You notice that my module build was focused on AA. This is a complete strike package. I don't have anything that will shoot down aircraft once they're away from my ship. So there's no reason to increase gun damage. It's very minimal. And this Mayhem, he's dealing with the island again. We're trying. Come on, get him. Oh, we miss. We predicted just a little bit too far forward. But with the AA defense on the aircraft carrier, you can actually do pretty significant damage to attacking squadrons. And with the strike package, it's very important that you not bunch up. At least this is how I play it. You don't want to bunch up your crew because it's really easy for the fighters to go one after the other. Of course, you don't want them stacked up if there's a fighter around you. If you ever see a fighter, you want to spread them out and then come together at the target. That way, this fighter squadron can only work on one squadron of mine, while the other 2 are off going towards a destroyer, a battleship, a cruiser, and an aircraft carrier. You gotta make sure that you keep the enemy aircraft carrier honest. Not everyone's good at RTSs. Not everyone can balance doing multiple actions per minute. And I'm sure as a destroyer, a cruiser, or a battleship, you're going, I don't care about this. Well, this is important because you can see the technique I'm using, and I think we got him. I think we got him. Yeah! It always feels rewarding to get a manual kill on a destroyer, no matter what type, either torpedoes or dive bombers. Those little buggers, they love to run and hide. And if you can take them out of the fight, it really does impact the game. That's why I try at the beginning of the match to take out a destroyer over an enemy aircraft carrier. There's a guy on my team. You've probably noticed him in my chat. He's basically trying to play my ship for me. And I disagree with his ideas of what an aircraft carrier should do. I think taking out a destroyer is a completely valid target when you consider the objective control they offer and the dominant nature that they provide to the meta right now, as long as the Soviet radar doesn't exist. And you must consider, maybe the enemy aircraft carrier just isn't good. That's a lot of wasted resources on a target that's not really going to impact the game. And so far, I haven't seen him do anything meaningful against my team. I've seen a lot of aircraft that have attempted to attack me, but as long as I'm still alive, who cares how much damage I've taken? Now this Tashkent shows up. Of course, we're going to do a drop. We get him, even though it's perpendicular. That manual drop is far superior to the automatic with dive bombers, and we're going to do exactly what we did before. Hover over the ship, provide the scouting information our team desperately needs, but I'm going to make sure that the cruiser isn't within range to add on to that AA damage. And the Tashkent is sort of trying to run away, but we know where you're going. We have our torpedo bomber, and I would love a nice clean broadside. The Tashkent is not an easy ship to maneuver. It's the biggest destroyer by far. It's almost as big as cruisers. And he's gonna be able to get out of the area, but this should hold him steady, and that will provide a perfect opportunity for the dive bomber. And it looks like it's gonna work out in our favor. We predicted great. 6,500 points of damage, knock out his propulsion, set a couple fires, force out damage control. Now, I'm not going to leave someone hovering over because there's a New Mexico right next to him. That's what he needed to do. It provides our cruiser a chance to at least attempt to capture B. There's an enemy destroyer, an enemy battleship moving in close to my position and the friendly cruiser that for whatever reason felt like he had to protect me the whole time. I don't need protection. The way I see it, if it's a 1v1, it's too many resources to give up your time providing extra AA to the aircraft carrier. It just is. One aircraft carrier can't kill me in a single set. He has to do it multiple times. Well, the plan is pretty simple. take out enemy destroyers. Provide intel for your team. You take out that class, and the enemy team suffers greatly. Now, we missed on the Mayhem. We incapacitated something, but who cares? It's going to be fixed with damage control. So the team has captured A. We're attempting to capture B. I really would prefer those battleships to be closer to B, but I think they were fighting someone. I don't know. We've got that cruiser who has continued to run into an island. I'm sure it's my fault. So he's fighting off the battleship. Within full view, there's of course that destroyer that we tried to take out. He's somewhere on the west. Where could he be? Oh, he takes a huge broadside from the enemy battleship. And I want to take out that destroyer. I feel like the destroyer, of course, is a bigger threat to him than the battle. Yeah, here he comes. Okay. And we're trying to set up an attack run. I had the wrong squadron selected, but we've got it selected now. And, oh, look. Aircraft carrier. I need your help. I did not know that. I had no idea. Man, we missed with our manual. Did you see it? It did like a half circle right in front of him. Doesn't matter, though. The New Orleans is able to take out the destroyer. And he's trying to get away. The enemy battleship. Okay, he's still healthy. Now, with aircraft carriers, there's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of opportunities to chat. It's pretty dangerous if you're someone who probably would say the wrong thing. But not for me. I will tell you in the most polite manner that you are the biggest, most offensive person I've ever seen in my life, and there's absolutely nothing you can do to report that. So, we let him know, oh, by the way, we're doing that. We're trying to protect you. Yeah, we've been doing it for pretty much every squadron for the last 2 or 3 minutes. And we're going to do it with our torpedo bombers. Now, the North Carolina is sailing right into the trap. We don't want to get too close. It's really clean. Yeah, he's trying to turn into it. You give enough space, and it works in your favor. Yeah! We land 3 torpedoes and destroy the enemy North Carolina. And the cruiser's still alive, by the way. He is still alive because of the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Now, as I have relearned the aircraft carrier, I tried a balanced build. 1 fighter, 1 torpedo, 1 dive. And we were middle of the pack, mediocrity. It just wasn't working out. I like to hard carry, and strike is the only option if you want to be top of the leaderboard and score a lot of XP, maybe to level up faster. It really is the only way. Killing aircraft is okay. Having a balanced build is alright, but you're never going to be consistently at the top just because you have a limited strike force. You gotta go all in, or you're not going to be able to do it. Now, we bypass the cruiser. That was my primary target there. We're going to go for the destroyer, and guess what? He's pulled a Notser, but he's not all the way on the island. He's moving slowly. We got to make sure, and you could sort of drag it. Not my best work. I didn't think it would commit that soon. You just need to be able to do that. It was just a mistake. And you'll make a lot of them. You will feel crappy. But that's okay. It's all about getting better, and manual is the way to go. You will never be able to succeed unless you master manual with both torpedoes and dive bombers. Now we got another set, and I'm trying to make sure I don't mess this up. Yeah! There we go. We also set him on fire. I think, yeah, he doesn't have damage control. He had to use it on the previous bomb. And we burn him down. 4th kill. Yes, the 4th kill in my aircraft carrier at tier 7. And I just feel so awesome. I was so terrible with aircraft carriers. It was well below the skill level that I felt was acceptable for someone who has been so successful with destroyers, cruisers, and battleships. Why can't I find success? Because you haven't mastered how to use manual and what targets to go after. Now this New Mexico, he's on fire, I believe. He has a dot going. We're just trying to get into position to send our torpedoes. And I think he just used damage control and put out the dot. But you can't put out torpedoes. And he's slowing to a crawl. We just want to make sure we don't screw this up. Don't screw it up. He's turning into it. We probably dropped a little bit too close. Please be enough, please. Oh, just barely. Way too close, but we earned Kraken Unleashed. And I'm just so excited. It's Kraken Unleashed. I don't have a lot of those in my aircraft carrier. And to go from how low I felt I was to getting 5 kills, that's a huge leap for me. It feels great. That growth is so rewarding. Now we earned Arsonist, First Blood, Kraken Unleashed, Devastating Strike, 5 kills. We had 6 torpedo strikes, 2,029 base XP. We also kept alive that cruiser. Maybe he'll learn to be a nicer person. Probably not, but he should. We did around 54,000 points of damage, which isn't a lot, but I felt like the targets that we focused down were very important to the team, battleships and destroyers. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this aircraft carrier game. I certainly enjoyed playing it. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.